Hiya, I'm Simone Radley from England and Nails, and in this video we're going to be doing something Halloweeny. I think the Addams Family. I used to love watching the Addams Family when I was a kid, but I always get them mixed up. There's the Addams Family, which I'm going to do. I'm going to do Morticia, and there was another one that I used to watch. I want to say it was like the Munsters or something.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I get them mixed up. In the Munsters, I feel like she had a white streak in her hair.
I think you have it right.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to do Morticia Addams. So I have got almond fit tips. I'm going to do like a set, basically. So I have painted these ones with 2 coats of I-156, which is retort white. And then I've done these ones as well. But we'll come to them in a minute. So these ones, I'm going to do Morticia, I think, on this one, and I'm going to do some bats as well for the other one. So I'm just going to get a little bit of green cleaner and wipe off the inhibition layer. I'll do it on both, just because when you're painting a design like this, it's best not to paint on a sticky surface because it can be a bit annoying, and your design can sort of slip and slide around and it's not quite right. So I've just wiped it off. Some people like to paint on a matte surface, so if you wanted to, you could either buff it or do a coat of velvet matte top coat first, but I'm alright with this, I think. I say that now, we'll see. So I have got some I-161, which is Asgard, black lilac. I'm going to use that. I might use some black no white gel paint as well, I think. In fact, I will. I'm going to get it out now. The black no white is my fave. I'm going to use my artiste brush. So the reason why I would choose one over the other for painting designs is the gel paint, it doesn't run or move, and it's really highly pigmented, so it's good for doing like lines and stuff. Whereas if I'm blocking in bigger areas, I would use the lilac, because if you use the gel paint and you're blocking in big areas, it can be like bumpy because it doesn't self-level. You get all your brush strokes in it and stuff. So sometimes on designs like this one, it's good to use a bit of both. So first off then, I'm going to use the gel paint, my artiste brush, and I'm going to do the shape of her head. The head pretty much is going to take up like the whole nail really. So I'm going to start down with a chin, which is quite pointed. That's going to be in the middle. And I'm just going to come up round the side of her face. And don't worry if you go too wide, because her hair's black anyway and we're just going to block the hair in, so it's not a problem. Now, ordinarily, if I was doing this on a client, I would put my hand over the top like this and paint that way. But if I do that, you're not going to be able to see. So I'm going to turn the tip round. But that's how I would do it. And how I did do it, because I have done this on a person. Yeah, I just put my hand over the top, kind of twist it round. I've left a little gap there because I felt like it wasn't in the right place, so I'm just going to join that up with a chin at the bottom. Then I'm going to come right up the top. And her hairline is quite pointed at the top as well. She has like a centre parting. So I'm going to go to the middle for a centre parting. And I'm going to leave a little gap in the white, so it's kind of like the gap in her parting basically. So this really is quite an easy, I think it's quite an easy one to do. So I'm going to use now the black lilac I-161 for her hair. And like I said, I want to leave that centre bit white so it looks like the parting. And take it straight up and then come down the side for her hair. So this is why as well, initially you don't have to worry if the line around the side of the face isn't perfectly straight, because you're going to come in and put the black hair down the side anyway, so you can kind of straighten up your lines with this. And she's got really long straight hair. So I'm going to do it right down the edges. So I'm literally coming straight down each side for her hair, but obviously you'll see her hair around the side of her neck. But I'm just going to come straight down the edge first, then I'm going to put her neck in where I want it, and then I'll fill in the black for the hair around it. So she's got a teeny tiny little skinny neck. Again, don't worry. You can hear a load of noise. It's because the RAF base is at the end of my road, where the red arrows are. So the red arrows are obviously, I don't know, practicing. They're having a good old flyabout over the house. So that's why it's a bit noisy. So I put a skinny little neck in, and again, you don't have to worry if it's exactly perfect because all this white area, each side of her neck, is obviously going to be where her hair falls. However, so we can straighten it up. However, you don't want it too far in, so you don't want it narrower than you want it to be. It's fine if it's wider than you want it to be because we're going to fill it in, but you can't fill it out. And I've gone a bit too far in, so I've just got some green cleaner and my vice versa brush, and you can just push it back out with this. Basically, remove it. So it's not a problem. So now I'm going back to the black eyelash and I'm going to fill in the rest of her hair, right round the side of her face, going up to her neck. And now, just under her chin, I'm just going to use a bit of green cleaner on my brush and just straighten the line of her chin round a bit. And then for shadowing, I like to use the gel paint, and I use my vice versa brush. And I basically use a tiny amount and work my vice versa brush through it. So it's kind of, there's not much there, but it's quite smudgy. And that's great for putting shadows in. So I'm just going to do a little bit of shadow underneath. I'm going to wipe my brush so there's basically nothing on it. It's like a dry brush, and brush it out. And then, because I'm happy with that general outline, I think, although...
Oh dear.
More planes. So now that's cured, I'm going to come in and I'm going to use the I-161, which is the black, but I'm going to add a tiny bit of white. So it's going to be like a really dark grey. Because I'm going to do her top that you can see, but it's like a collar. And I want it to be pretty much black, but not quite, just so you can see it against her hair, basically. And then we want to do like a little collarbone because she's really skinny and bony, isn't she? So again, I'm going to use the gel paint for this. Still the artiste brush, nice and thin. It's basically just like a little line each side. A really thin little line, she says. Not even got anything to paint there. Then I'm going to use my vice versa just dry, and I'm basically rubbing over that line to kind of blur it out a bit. And now we need to put our details on her face. So again, I'm going to use the gel paint for this. I'm going to do her lips first. They're quite narrow pursed. She's going to have quite a big cupid's bow at the top. And they're going to be quite far down her face. So I'm just going to put a line like a U basically for the bottom. And then leave a gap in the middle, and I'm going to do a top lip with quite a big cupid's bow. I want a gap in between her lips, kind of like they're open. And these are going to be dark as well. I'm going to do grey, a light grey, so I'm just going to add into this grey that I mixed before a little bit more white. I'm going to fill it in with that. Fill her lips in with that. Then I'm going back to my gel paint. I'm going to do a nose, and it's like a little tiny nose. It's literally going to be a thin tiny line underneath, like a little, what do you call that? Kind of a bit like a comma, I guess. And then 2 thin lines down the side. Then her eyes are going to be quite big. And I'm going to do them like, she always looks shady. I'm going to do them like that. And again, these are going to be pretty much grey. I'm going to use the vice versa brush just with like a smudge of the gel paint on. Although my brush is doing my head in because it's got hair sticking off in all directions. It's got ruined this brush. So I'm just using basically a rubbing of the gel paint. And you can take from what's already there as well in your lines. If you've done your line a little bit thicker than you wanted, you can just sort of rub it out from there really. So I'm just going to get my artiste back and just go around the edge here just to outline it a bit more. On this side. Now I'm going to put the middle of her eye in, but it's like she's looking to the side. So I'm going to put black this side. Still using the gel paint. And then I'm going to do eyebrows, so they're going to be quite pointy. Pointy ones. And now I want to alter her hair slightly. So when you get the rest of your stuff in, sometimes you see obviously that you want to change it. So I'm going back to my eyelash and I just want to bring this down into more of a V around the side of her face. And then I'm going to just put that into Flash Cure. So now I'm going to get some gel paint again and I'm just going to outline her lips a bit more. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to stick that in for a full cure. And while that's curing, I'm going to do bats. Bats are really good and really easy to do. And they're really effective, I reckon. So I'm going to use the I-161 and I'm just using the dotting end of my vice versa brush. And I'm just going to do dots. Like basically this is where I want like the sort of head slash body to be. I'm going to use the gel paint. And from those dots, I just kind of drag out into like a, looks like a bird, like just a sweepy line like that, each side. And some of them can be like higher up and closer together, some of them further apart, they can be uneven, because they're flapping about all over these bats. From the very end, so the tip of the wing, is it still a wing? Yeah, it's wing. You're going to go in from there and do like a, looks like from under an umbrella, like that, down to meet the body, which I'm going to make slightly longer as well. And then the gap that's in between, you basically just fill it in with black. And that, again, is when you can change the points on the wings as well. If you want to change the points on the wings, you can alter them a bit. And then I'm going to just make the head a little bit longer and give it kind of an uneven, so it's like bat ears. So that is my bats filled in. And to be honest, bats, I think, are great for Halloween. And also, they're so easy. Like, you don't have to be good at nail art to do these bats. If you've just got, like, a rough kind of bat shape, people know what they are. Like, they're so easy and so effective, I feel. So I'm going to whack that into Cure. So my Morticia?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I get mixed up all the time. My Morticia is cured, and I'm going to do a coat of Rock Light because I want it to be matte. If you just do the matte top coat over the top of your design like that, it will smudge it all, which we know. And also, I now know, if you just wipe that with cleaner, it could probably smudge it as well. I think what it is when you do something that's really thin, or if you've used your paint or your eyelac for shading, so it's dead thin, wipe it with the green cleaner, just pulls it off. So I feel like it's best to do a shiny top coat first and tackle it that way. I'm going to do the same with your bats as well, so I don't smudge them. And with these, I've painted these with 2 coats of I161, and I'm going to use the white foil, which is Clio. And then I'm going to try and do some black lines on it, I think. So we'll see what happens, because I've not done it before. So I'm just going to dab the foil on and pull it off. It's just on the inhibition layer of the eyelac, so I've not put any foil gel or anything like that on. It's literally just the sticky layer of the gel, so I'm going to whack that on. I want it gappy, but I want a fair amount of it because I'm going to do some black lines as well. And then I'm going to do the same on this one. I just love this white foil with the black. It's so effective anyway, like just as it is, I love it. I love it. I love it. See, that looks really good, doesn't it? It just looks good. There's something about a monochrome and this crackly effect. It looks really good. And I think because it's not like the normal foil, people look at it, well, clients look at it and they're like, oh, that looks good. That looks really difficult. It's not. But it does look good. So, now I've got that, I'm going to do some black lines over it. So I'm going to use the black no wipe gel paint again, and I'm going to use my 15mm liner brush because it's my fave. I love it. I'm going to start down the middle. I just thought, oh, we'll try this and see what it looks like. I feel like it's going to be good. It is good. I like it. I'm going to cure that bad boy. And I'm going to do the same one here. Or am I? Or am I? I might do them that way. What's that way? Horizontal. I might do them horizontal. Just because why not? These line brushes though are so fab. I absolutely love them, and it just takes the work out of the lines for you basically. Again, really easy but really effective. This will be good on like a whole set, I feel. It's cute, isn't it?
You could do that all in different colours.
Yeah, you could. You could do all sorts.
Names of it with white foil.
A rainbow one.
Like a rainbow style nail.
Watch this space. And on this one, it is just a white base, I156. And I'm going to do lines on here as well. We're going with a full monochrome theme for these Halloween nails. I feel like monochrome is good any time of year, but it does lend itself very well to Halloween designs. I do like it. So now I want my Morticia and my bats to be matte, but because I've done the Rock Light, it's got an inhibition layer. I'm going to use the green cleaner to wipe that off before I do the matte, because if not, sometimes you get your matte can look a little bit patchy, and it's just the inhibition layer interfering with it. So just make sure you wipe it off first. And then the Velvet Matte. What's that from? Sesame Street. The cow. Is it Sesame Street? One, but
I think it is Sesame Street, but I don't know who it is.
The Count.
Oh, the Count. But it's the cat.
No, the Count. Again, I get all these things mixed up. It's probably because I'm so old and it was so long ago that I saw them. But yeah, the Count, I feel like it's Sesame Street, but I also used to love Count Duckula. Ducky! And that was the one with the trapdoor, wasn't it?
Mm.
There you go. All these, like, Halloweeny, but not Halloweeny, little kids' TV shows coming through. I'm going to have to watch these. My kids have never seen those programmes. I feel like they should. Like, they were all the good ones, do you know what I mean? Those cartoons were all the good ones. They were so good. I tell you what I loved, and I still love, and I've got the retro teddies actually. Moomins. Like, kids' programmes just are not good anymore. If you agree, let me know in the comments, because I feel like I'm right.
Definitely. I hate kids' TV. The only exception to that rule, I reckon, is Curious George. That is one of my favourite kids' TV programmes.
Curious friggin' George.
You never watched it? Very good.
I think I have, but I'm not sure it's good.
Oh, it is. Like a bit of Curious George.
I
can still watch it now, but the kids don't watch it anymore.
So these are the ones, the striped ones and the foily ones. I'm just top coating them with the Ultimate No White. Couldn't remember what it was then. So I'll be honest, I was stalling, but that's what it is, the Ultimate No White. And that is it. They are cured and done. And I've got to say, I really like it.
You know what you do?
Obviously, I'm going to say that. But, no, I do. Very, very good for Halloween, I feel. I'm loving the monochrome. And, yeah, I think the stripes and the foil just set it off nicely. So that is my Addams Family, Batty, Spooky.
Batty, definitely. Batty.
Joanna said I'm a bit mental. That is my Halloween design. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the notification bell. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!